Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the first video of a series where I'll be talking about Albanian folklore and teaching you all you need to know about it. But first, if you're new here, hi, I'm Albanian writer Arabis, currently working on a young adult vampire book inspired by the Vampire Diaries books and Albanian mythology. If you know anything about Albania, you know that there is no shortage of myths and legends. Today, I'll be talking about Epos of Kreshnik or Eposi Kreshnikve, which is a cycle of epic songs. North Albanians call the songs old songs or lute songs or the songs of brave men. This lore of spiritual heritage was proposed to UNESCO for inclusion in the World Cultural Heritage List along with the lute. They are the product of Albanian culture and folklore, orally transmitted down the generations by Albanian lahutar, who performed them accompanied by the sound of lahut. The Albanian traditional singing of epic verse from memory is one of the last survivors of its kind in modern Europe and the last survivor of the Balkan traditions. The two main characters of these epic songs are the supernatural brothers Muj and Halili, who got their powers from the mountain fairies, and the 40 Ag, who help the main characters. Their stories take place in Yudbin, among the high mountains, harsh climates, and modest lives, whereas the antagonists are usually the Turks or the Slavs who want to invade the land. Among these epic songs, we can single out Muj's wedding, Halili's wedding, Muj and the three mountain fairies, Muj's power, etc. One of my favorites, and the one that I'll be using as an inspiration for a secret writing project, is Muj's wedding. Here's how the story goes. From their village as sisters, goes and asks for the Kral's daughter's hand in marriage. In Albanian traditions, on the wedding day, the close family members of the groom go to take the bride from her family home to the groom's home. And so, Muj's family and his circle of Ag, with the oldest being Dizdar Osman Aga, leading the others, set out to take Muj's bride from her palace. And before they leave, Muj advises them, when they reach a certain mountain, to not stop and rest there, because the mountain fairies don't like people being in their mountain, as they could be resting under the trees or by the river. He also advises them to stop all singing and noise lest they bother the fairies. Dizdar Osman Aga accepts, and they all set out in a caravan of horses to go and get Muj's bride. However, on the way back, Dizdar Aga chooses to ignore Muj's advice and stops the caravan right on the fairies' mountain. The horses drink on the river, and the people dance and sing on the mountain. As you might have guessed, that was a very bad decision, because the fairies come out with all their fury, with fire coming out of their mouths, and turn the horses into wood and people into stone, except for the bride. They take her into their service as a slave and go back into their hiding spot deep in the mountain. Back home, Muj is waiting for his family and his bride to come back, but it's no use. He immediately realizes that they mustn't have heeded his warnings and have suffered the wrath of the fairies. So he sets out on a horse and eventually finds his family turned to stone in the mountain. He, of course, is very saddened from this, so he decides to travel deep in the mountain to try and find the fairies. Night falls, and Muj still hasn't found the fairies' hideout place. But now he is very deep in the forest, in a place where no ray of light can break into. There, he finds a source of crystal clear water and decides to rest there. After a moment, he sees a woman dressed in bridal clothing come to the water source with a vessel to take water in. He talks to her and soon understands she's his bride. So Muj asks his bride to find out where the fairies take their power from so he can find and defeat them. The bride eventually finds out that the fairies have 3 goats with gold horns, which are very fast, and if someone were to capture the goats, the fairies would immediately lose all power. So Mui goes out in the village and gathers a number of brave hunters, finds and captures the goats, and asks the fairies for his people to be brought back to normal and for his bride to be freed in exchange for the goats. The fairies accept they were bested, and of course they accept Mui's offer, and they promise not to attack the people that passed through their mountain. In one version of the song, which I studied when I was in school, Mui accepts the fairies as sisters and promises to always protect them and be by their side. Did you like the story? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Have a good time!